Hello, this is Bryant Quinney with Imaginate Technologies. Today we're going to talk about the inclusion of text and its rotation when you have them placed into line types. First, let's break up what the geometry I have shown represents. First off, I have two line types I'm going to be using, Storm R and Storm U. They'll both be delineated and shown in difference on the screen by the R and the U, which the R represents a relative rotation, and the U is more of universal rotation, or just think global. That will come into play later on. First, let's take a look at the geometry when drawn in a horizontal rotation. Above, I have the storm R line type drawn left to right and right to left, denoted by these arrows. Take a look at how the text is different than when it's drawn with the storm U value. They're both set at 0, so we'll keep that alike, and I'll explain rotations momentarily. Now, if I'd like to draw geometry using that style, I'll notice something about its behavior when looking in terms of angles on the screen. If I begin drawing a simple line, okay, let's start out at the 0 rotation, and I start to increase that angle up to the 90, then I pass it. Notice it has not changed orientation, does not become plan readable, so to speak. Let's keep going around the clock, around our 360. And you'll notice that it never changes in relation to the line positioning. Okay, this is the function of relative. So as I draw geometry right to left, it stays in relation to your beginning and an end point or segments. Left to right, it is, as you see, plan readable. Now let's take a look at the behavior of the U value. The U value or option allows us to maintain the same view orientation, if you will, of the text. So if I start drawing geometry, and as I move about, the moment I get to 90, that's our last option in that before it switches. So the orientation now takes on a plan readability style or fashion. Keep coming around, then I hit 270 and it flips to begin and continue actually the plan readability. Okay, so that's when looking at the basis of how this text reacts, beginning at the horizontal. Now that is the overall behavior of using either option, and the rest of the examples that I have shown on the screen illustrate some of the positioning in how you draw that geometry using either option. In this one, it shows vertically. If I'm going left to right towards the up direction and then left to right coming down using the R, it looks no different in a direct vertical when I am using either option. The last static illustration I have to show illustrates the behavior of either option in angles away from the horizontal and the vertical. For instance, the R value will continue to follow the direction of the line work itself, regardless of plan readability. Meanwhile, the U option will maintain a plan readable state regardless of which direction the line work is drawn. Let's take a moment to look at the line type definition of these lines that we have. The Storm U and Storm R definitions both use the same parameters up until you get to the rotation. Storm U and storm R, respectively, both have the value of 0 assigned. That indicates no rotation. However, any number entered here applies to its individual handling of the rotation of the text in relation to the line work, or of the world UCS. Let's change that and see how that works. I'll assign both of them a value of 20, and I'll reload them over on the CAD side. Let's reload both of our line types from our line type file. We'll go ahead and overwrite the current ones by reloading all selected. Let's regen all. And you'll see that the text now rotates at a 20-degree rotation. Take a look at how that is affected, whether it's in the U direction or option or the R option. Okay, let's go back to the horizontal. Let's take a look at its behavior. The U, same thing. They rotate in line with the line work, but still using their same behaviors in terms of overall universal or world UCS basis, or R in terms of being able to flip it up or upside down from the left to right. How about the line work as we draw? What is that doing? My current is the storm U. So take a look how it behaves. In this video, I simply wanted to illustrate the behaviors of text rotations when using either of the two options, R or U. Thank you.